We can all relate to the effects of the pandemic in one way or another, but imagine being in a years-long fight for your life following a brain cancer diagnosis and living to tell about it. Joining us is a true warrior, Bratton Fennell, who is using his experience to help others. Bratton, if I may just start by congratulating you on being 4 years cancer-free.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So you're bringing awareness to brain cancer. Can you tell us a little bit about your diagnosis?
Yes, glioblastoma is one of the most aggressive brain cancers, and it's normally terminal within 16 months.
Wow.
And it's a tough journey, and the race we're having and the run we're having is to provide money for research. A lot of that money is going to go for research at Hollings Cancer Center. And it's something that, since I'm doing relatively well, I try to really be an advocate for other people with glioblastoma. And I want them to have hope and know that you can still, live a quality life for some period of time, even after this really tough diagnosis.
And when I say that you're in a years-long fight, so you had the surgery about 2 weeks after your diagnosis in 2017, but is this not a type of cancer that you can claim that you're in remission? Is there always that potential threat that it could come back?
Yes, it's so rare that it doesn't come back at some point. They'll never consider me in remission. But wow. The good news is I've been 4 years without any visible tumor, and hopefully that'll continue.
That's wonderful. And you have regular MRIs, and you're also on some medication for seizures.
Yes. Well, they cut out an avocado-sized tumor out of my head.
Wow.
So when they did that, they also cut out a lot of the nerves that have the electrical impulses, and just sometimes I'll have a misfire.
Oh, interesting.
I'll have a seizure. So my seizures are more an issue from my surgery than my actual cancer at this point. And when they cut the tumor out, they had to cut some optic nerves. So I've lost some vision as well. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty well.
Can you tell us what led up to the diagnosis? How were you feeling prior to that? What were some of the signs that you were experiencing?
I was having some major headaches.
Oh.
And I was starting to not be able to recognize people very well. And I fell at a friend's funeral, and I had a hard time getting up. And finally, I got sent to get a CT scan and an MRI, and they found out I had a major brain tumor. So it kind of went from, running marathons and things until all of a sudden, and my surgeon said, if we don't operate, you'll be, dead by July. But, if we operate and it goes well, things, you might be able to live another, 5 to 10 years.
Well, speaking of marathons, you are taking your passion and helping raise awareness and funds for research for others who have also gone through this battle. This is a good place to take a break. When we come back, I want you to give us the details on the upcoming 5K that we can all join in on. And even despite COVID, we can do it in a safe way. So we'll do that after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've been chatting with Bratton Fennell. He's a 4-year brain cancer survivor, and he's here with details on an upcoming 5K that we can all join in on to help raise awareness and funds for research. But first, I have to ask you, Bratton, can you tell us how COVID has impacted your life and just how things have been for you, how life has changed since your surgery?
Well, life since my surgery, in a lot of ways, I feel better. I mean, I'm not having headaches, but one thing with COVID is, before, since I don't drive, it's harder to get an Uber or Lyft now. So I don't, going to restaurants, I just don't do that now. I still see and talk to friends and do things. So, but, it's certainly, like I can't go see my mother now and things like that I miss, but it's probably not much different for me than it is for anyone else.
Mm-hmm. But you're also a little bit more at risk because of COVID and having undergone treatment for cancer. Is that right?
I would think so. I mean, my doctor tells me to be reasonable about everything. Otherwise, I'm in good health, but I mean, I was on chemo for a year and a half, so I would imagine that my immune system is somewhat, compromised. So I try to be careful, but I think a lot of people need to be careful with COVID.
But what I think is so amazing is that as someone who has gone through this scary battle, I think for anyone who's undergone treatment for cancer, it is a scary ordeal, but you find the time to pray for others. You have a very long ongoing list of 150 plus people that you pray for every single day. Well, we're going to be praying for you too, Bratton. And finally, we want to give the details of this 5K that I think everyone should sign up for. It's the 5th annual Head for the Cure 5K, and it's happening Saturday, February 27th at 9 a.m. It's virtual, $40 for registration, and completely worth it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Bratton.
Okay, thank you.
We're back after this.